What's going on, Billy? Billy Hanson is back in the movie dojo. What's up, brother? Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I finally have my poster wall at least started this time. I feel like we've been doing this for a long time and I haven't had any posters up.
Yeah,
and I've been talking about it.
Man, like, ooh,
oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Yep. I got some more. Here, let me do this for you.
It has begun. You know that, right? Like it's over.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to get criticized a lot for these choices.
I don't see any Fast and Furious posters back there, man. What's going on?
Give it time. We got space up there.
It's an addiction. Yeah. It's an addiction. When you start getting into posters, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I got so many. We ran out of room. We ran out of room. Ran out of room in the house, man. But we said we should have went with the small ones, you know, and then had a whole bunch of small ones everywhere. But you know, who knew we were going to get that crazy? Representing that 27 by 40 ones over here. I mean, that's why we don't have any goddamn room.
Yeah,
but
that'll do it.
Yeah, man. But it's looking awesome back there.
Thank you.
That's right. Right. Yeah.
We got some more to go. So hopefully every time I do another video with you, it'll be like one or two more up there.
That'll be fun. Spot the new poster. That'll be the new game for you guys watching. What's going on? It's your boy Preston, Fat Samurai Guy, back again in the movie dojo. And our favorite movies. That's right. We're continuing this series here on the channel and revving up for Halloween. We're getting close because 'tis the season, baby. That's right. 'Tis the season. I got to celebrate my favorite holiday of the year. And speaking of season, what? Spider season. It's spider season as well. Yes.
That was a solid transition right there.
Did you like that? I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Spider season. Thanks again for giving me this book, brother.
Of course.
For you horror fans out there. And where can they get this?
Anywhere that has books can get it. It's showed up in a lot of like used bookstores. I'm sure it's at like in LA area. It's like the Iliad bookstore. I think I've seen it in there. It's on Amazon, hard copy. You know, you can get print copies, ebook copies, or there's an audiobook out there too on Audible.
I'm looking forward to reading this, baby. That's right. Is it going to give me the creepy crawlies?
Yes.
Am I going to get nightmares?
I hope so.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. Spider season by our boy here. And don't forget also to check out Bone Cold. Check that out on Tubi and Prime. Check that out as well. Buy the Blu-ray from Well Go USA. But yeah, we're back. We are back. Last time you were here, we had a great Yin Yang episode.
Yeah,
that's right. Major Grom, I think versus the Plague Doctor or something like that. And then it was I said Future World. Double World.
Double World. Yeah.
That was a fun one. Yeah, that was a great episode. Make sure you guys check that out. Yin of the Yang. But we're here talking horror, baby. That's right. My man's guest pick of the day, he picked Revenge.
Yeah.
That's right. And before we get started with this one, don't forget, guys, this is going to be spoilers. This movie's been out since 2017. This will be spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop the video right now. Go watch it really quick on Shudder. And then come on back. And then
it's not that long.
The video. No, it's not that long. No. But wait a minute. Something's not right. We're talking horror here. Something's not right. Hold on. I got to get it right.
Oh, man.
What?
Yeah.
Bone Cold beanie up in the house. What? What?
Perfect for this 110-degree weather we got going on right now.
Yeah. It is not bone cold over here in California right now. We're in the triple digits, but that's right. Got to represent the beanie my man sent me over here. Thanks again, brother.
It looks good on you.
Yeah, I'm dying. You won't know this because I'm smiling right now, but it's you guys know I got Bonk's Adventure size head here. Okay, I got the big bulbous up here, so I'm like right now. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna break it in. But yeah, let's have some fun here. Let's get started talking horror, and let's go ahead and do this. I think it's time, Billy, for some revenge.
You drive me completely crazy. Stan Dimitri, my associates.
Hi.
Yeah.
There are reasons I chose this one.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear them. Yes. Now, before my buddy here gets into plot synopsis, the always entertaining IMDb plot synopsis and all that. I have to admit, your boy's always honest here. Which feels like 5 billion years ago, 2017.
Yeah.
Doing YouTube 5 billion years ago, me and Lady Fatblood did a trailer reaction for Revenge. And we thought it looked really interesting. But then when we saw those taglines in there, gouges out the eyes of the male gaze, a movie, was it a theme of what was it, empowerment or something like that?
Empowerment,
we were like, oh God. We were like, oh no. We were concerned. We're like, are these red flags? Like, what is this, right? Then we finally watched the movie. I don't think I reviewed it. I don't think I did, which is perfect because 5 billion years later, no, we're reviewing it right now. But no,
you're just holding on to it.
Yeah, when we watched it finally, thank God, those red flags, we didn't have to be concerned about those. We really thought the movie was really entertaining, really enjoyed it. But revisiting it 5 billion years later for this episode, I fucking love this movie now, dude.
Yeah, it's
because when I
awesome.
first watched, because I had concerns, right? I first watched it and we were like, oh, it was good. That was good. All right. Right. But I messaged my buddy Sexy Sumo, OGP, Egg Shin. I messaged all of them recently. I'm like, dude, I'm watching Revenge right now. I haven't watched this in forever. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking amazing, man. Like, this is a great movie. Yeah. This is so good. So I had to make sure I get that out really quick before we get into it. But yeah. Plot synopsis time.
Yeah. All right. Let me hit you with a great, amazing plot synopsis. Never take your mistress on an annual guy's getaway, especially one devoted to hunting. A violent lesson for 3 wealthy married men.
There you go.
I mean, to be fair, like the plot of the movie is incredibly simple. That's one of the things I really love about it is like it's so simple, so they can just do the thing they're doing to the extreme.
Right.
And I guess they tried to get a little creative with their description.
I'm kind of surprised they were trying to have a little fun with it. It wasn't the usual like girl runs from men.
Lots of blood,
butt
shots.
Yes. And speaking of a lot of butt shots, this was directed by a female director.
Yeah.
So take that.
So I remember seeing this
like the butt.
Yeah.
When it's not just eyes showing butt shots.
Yeah.
Female director, son. So take that.
And I think the comment about gouging the male gaze, they're gouging out the eyeballs of the male gaze or whatever it is. I remember watching it this time, revisiting it, and noting like, my God, they're just like, this is so many butt shots. And like, but it weirdly didn't feel gratuitous. It didn't strike me as like creepy, and maybe it's because I know it's like the point of it. It's a female director. I know that's what she's doing very intentionally and setting up this character and our view of this character. But there was something very different about the first like 15-20 minutes is just her being like just crazy sex. What's the term I'm looking for? Like sex bombshell. That's just what she is. But it didn't really feel pervy until shit starts going wrong.
Right. But why did you pick this one? Let us know. Did you want to do that yet or not yet? Or do you want to do it now? Or?
Yeah, I can do it now. Like I don't remember who recommended it to me, but someone recommended it to me, and it was one of those ones where usually if I get a movie recommended to me, I put it on the list. I'll come to it eventually. But this one, someone said you should watch this, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just watch it right now. So I put it on, and it's like knocked my socks off. And it is hard to get me to squirm with like blood and gore and violence in movies.
Yeah.
And this one, I was doing it from the beginning to the end, like every single gore bit, including like gunshots, punches to the face, like everything. I was like, oh, and I was like squirming and cringing, and like my skin was crawling.
Yeah, I forgot how bloody this movie was. Rewatching it recently.
They don't pull away from anything.
And me and you were trying to find some GIFs of the blood gore, but we couldn't find any gifs on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything of. I was literally searching like revenge 2017, foot gag, foot bloody foot, and nothing would pop up. I think it's just because it's so realistic and gory that the internet is like, you can't look at this. This mustn't be what you want to see.
Yeah.
But I remember just getting bowled over by how well crafted it was and how impactful it was. And I remember thinking that the director was really going to do some awesome stuff in the future. And sure enough, right now she's got a movie that's coming out that everyone's just like raving about, The Substance, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm really, there you go. You had that shit ready. Yeah. I'm really excited to see it.
I'm a professional.
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
I try. I have my moments. But
I'm stoked to see that one.
Yeah. This trailer looked wild.
Yeah.
And I was just like, ooh, this might be some good shit.
I'm excited to see her step up her game too. Like if because I think Revenge was pretty well regarded.
Yeah.
It didn't make a lot of money, but
it didn't seem like she did a lot of movies. Like she takes a break in between and then releases something. It's not like she's doing everything like every year, like a movie, But hey, less is more if the quality is that good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's jump right into this. Oh, were you still talking about why you picked the movie?
Oh, why else? It just really stuck with me. Like I think that's one of the biggest things. I always remembered Revenge, and I remembered like every single gore bit of violence that happened. And I think it's just because it's so impactful and so memorable and so just well realized. Yeah, including we'll get to it, but that last act 3 like showdown is so unnerving and tense and like.
Yeah, we got it. We'll build up to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that
because that's something that could have gone horribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get to it.
It could have been silly. Could have been.
Oh my god! Yeah, but we'll get to it when we get. Yeah, but I'm so glad you picked this because sometimes when you revisit a movie, you'll love it more. Mm-hmm. You'll be like, dude, this is ridiculous, right? Or you might get the opposite. You're like, I hate this now. What the fuck happened? Why did I even like this in the past? But or you stay the same. You're like, it's okay. But not with Revenge, baby. I miss movies like this. Mm-hmm. I really wish a movie like this would be released in theaters today with today's modern audience.
Yeah.
And fuck them up.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been in a theater.
Wake up!
Yeah,
this is cinema. Wake the fuck up!
Yeah, I don't think I've been in a theater
about shit all the time. This is wake up. This is.
I feel like the impact or like the reaction that this would have at a theater right now. For people that didn't know it was coming. You hear people getting up and running out. Like you hear people gagging. Just freaking out.
Perfection.
It's been a long time since I've seen that in a theater.
Yeah. What movie was it? I didn't even know this was a thing. But my wife told me about it recently. I was like, what? It was some kind of movie. Oh, it was Oppenheimer, which I still have not seen yet. That's on the list. Did you like Oppenheimer?
I did.
Okay. Apparently in Oppenheimer, there was like, I don't know if there was an orgy or there was something going on in that movie. Mm-hmm. There was some fucking.
Yeah.
Well, I guess today's generation freaked out. I guess they're not used to seeing fucking in like modern day big budget movies.
Yeah.
I'm sure they watch porn all the time on their phones.
Right.
Hypocrites.
But I felt real weird about sitting in a crowd watching it.
I don't know, but I guess there was some complaints from the younglings. Like they just were offended. And that's why I'm like, we need to re-release Revenge in the goddamn theater. Yeah. Not that there's like, like a lot of fuck. There's not, there's, we'll get to it. Yeah. But I'm just like, just wake up. Yeah. Wake up for fuck's sake. Stop having these closed minds. Open it.
I always think about when I was a kid growing up.
Like Quato said. Listen to Quato from Total Recall. Open your mind. All the younglings are like,
start the reactor.
Like, what the fuck is Quato?
Yeah.
That's what the younglings are saying right now.
I'll show you. Hold on. Let me introduce you. Remind me. I'll send you the year that I went as Quado for Halloween.
No, get the fuck out. No.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was a really good
insane.
costume.
This is now the best podcast episode ever now. but yeah, back to the movie here. Dude, cinematography. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just right from the start. It's so stylized and like just beautiful to look at. That shot is so cool too.
like this is the beginning. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is just, gorgeous. Pun intended in this movie. But hey, it's just one of them things, you got a businessman. He going out there with his other business friends. They're gonna do some hunting, and he's bringing his lovely mistress. That's right. She's not innocent in this.
Nope.
She's not Mrs. Perfect in this. She knows what she's doing. You could label her as a gold digger. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love how it sets her up as just like she's just doing what she does. She wants to get to LA. That's her like life's goal. She talks about wanting to get to LA, and she's just like having fun with this guy. Yeah,
she wants to be noticed. She says it in the movie. I want to be noticed. Yeah,
and
it's going to be hard not to notice.
Yeah,
but yeah, hey, you got my mistress out here. What tripped me out is, I mean, she knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing because as soon as they land, let's fuck.
Yeah,
like immediately, like zip.
Yeah, she literally like lifts up her skirt. He goes up to her. They start. Then she's on her knees.
Yeah,
boom. And then he calls his wife, and he checks in with his wife. And I was like, oh, beautiful.
yeah. And then she had the nerve to like look upset in the bed. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah,
stop it. Anyway, what was kind of odd. They like to get down. That's to each his own. But what's one of the most odd dialogue? I'm gonna botch it here. But she's all mad in the bed because he's talking to his wife. So she's like, Pum. And then he goes to console her and kind of make her feel good. And he says something bizarre. He says like, I'm gonna Billy maybe help me out with it, but he says something like, I love your little ass. Yeah, he's like your ass is like an alien that is invading Earth or something like that. Did he say something like that? He said, look at your ass. It's like another being from another planet invading Earth or something like that. I was what the fuck is that?
Whatever it was, he compared her ass to an alien.
Yeah, it was like something like that. And I'm
know what though? Weirdly,
when you're rich and hot.
Yeah.
When you're rich and hot, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
If I was complimenting a girl's ass and I said it's like an alien invading Earth, I don't know if it would go over as well as it did.
Well, then that's when you rip out Quato.
Oh, right, of course, yes.
Yeah, he knows what to say. He knows exactly what to say. But yeah, that was bizarre. I was like, this is my reaction. I was like, what the hell is that? Look at your ass. It's so cute. Like an alien invading Earth. I'm like, what? Something like that. Well, anyway, they have a thing for each other. They enjoy each other's company.
It makes sense. Two very hot people. What's going to happen?
Oh man. But then, boom. These wonderful gents kind of startle her, and they just staring at her. I was like, what the fuck are you guys looking at? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And she's just it's just this awkward pause when they're staring at. She's like, and then she calls her man, like, hey,
no pants on, just standing there, like, and immediately it's awkward, and it changes the whole thing, like changes the entire dynamic of the situation and of the movie too. Like, so good.
She I love how the director foreshadowed what was coming with the apple. She would eat the apple because she was eating the apple around that time, right? And she puts the apple down, and the worse the movie gets, it keeps cutting back to the apple getting deteriorating, and you see an ant on it and all that kind of stuff. Very just well directed, so good. So good.
Another thing too about this movie that I really liked was the it's talking about the male versus female gaze in it. They have that big front of the house that's just all windows, and there's one blue window and one pink window.
Okay.
And that's got to be like a masculine feminine thing. I haven't
Ah,
cracked the exact code, but I think when those guys show up, they're looking at her through that pink glass, and she's obviously this like sex object.
Oh, look at
And then
you.
jumping ahead to the end
You
a
should
little bit,
direct movies.
should look into it. Yeah. I don't know if I'll get to this level, but when she comes back at the end, jumping like to the end, he's looking at her through the blue window. And so
nice.
I haven't pinpointed exactly what that means yet, but I do think it's like a really interesting like way of playing out the masculine, feminine within the story. So I just love subtle details like that.
Yeah.
And like making a point subtly so that the audience can kind of like feel it and instead of like being able to pinpoint it. But I just noticed that right away this time watching it. Oh, there's a blue window and a white window.
Look at that. Yeah, look at that. That blew my mind right there. But you know,
and look at the posters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But when I saw this scene, I was like, kill him! Kill him!
Yeah.
That was my reaction. But now I like that. Now I'm gonna have to watch the movie again.
There you go.
We'll pick up some things. That's some good directing, son. Well, you know, they decide to party hardy. They're all sitting around. I mean, you can assume he's a drug dealer. I mean, pretty much you can assume he's a drug dealer, and his friends are drug dealers. They work together, but you know, they want to relax. They want to hang out, man.
They're there to cut loose.
Yeah, and she decides to put on a show. Now, the first time I watched this, I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that, please. Especially when you're around drunk dudes.
Yeah.
You know, when you're around drunk guys and you're the only female there, don't put on a show. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless you really know them and you're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you got somebody else with you. I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially when they're drunk or high or whatever. Just, but when she comes out, she wants to put on a show. She likes to be the center of attention. She, like she said, I want to be noticed. You know, so she comes out and puts on a show and really arouses the dude on the right here, because she picks him up. The other guy, the guy on the left, all he did the whole movie was eat, which is interesting. Which we'll talk about him a little bit later, which I didn't expect. I did not expect from him. But yeah, she puts on a show, do a little dancing, swinging her ass a little bit here and there. And it's funny because at some point, even her boyfriend's like, "All right, that's it."
Yeah,
like,
he just
come on,
picks her up, throws her over his shoulder, and just walks her into the bedroom. He's like, "All right, we're done. Good night."
All right, yeah,
I think he says, "My turn."
Yeah,
and takes her off.
Pretty much. But that morning, unfortunately, he had to do his business thing, and he was only gone for 2 hours. He was only gone for 2 hours, and unfortunately, our boy here, what was his character's name again?
Stan
here.
Yeah.
Stan, after the sexual dance last night when they were partying, obviously she wanted to fuck the guy, right? Yeah. She wasn't just dancing for fun.
Yeah.
That scene is so Come on.
Uncomfortable. Like, when he just like comes into the room with her. Or even before that, when she goes out to have sit at the table breakfast. And he's just sitting there, he's like all buttoned up, and
he set up breakfast for her.
Yeah, he set up breakfast, and she just tries to be cordial, and she's like, "Oh, this is different." She gets on her phone. He's still just staring at her. It's so uncomfortable, and then follows her into the room, and he's like, "Well, what don't you like about me?" And I don't know, I feel like that just touches on something that so many people can identify with. That oh no, dude. It's not happening. Just let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
It's not. Just let it go. And he just doesn't, and can't.
Right. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. When
uncomfortable scene.
When I come across another female, I'm always polite and respectful, and I go, "Hey, how's it going? Good morning," and they just ghost me. I get the hint and I just keep walking.
You don't follow them,
and I don't talk to them anymore.
You don't follow them wherever they're going, and then ask them why.
Have you ever opened the door for some people and they just don't even say thank you? Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. My quick tangent. I
was like, you assholes.
I usually trip them on their way out. But I have two little kids, and we started school, and you run into all the other parents, and a lot of the time you're bumping into each other, you're moving things, you're opening doors, you're opening gates, and getting out of people's way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of thank you, excuse me, thank you, whatever. Sometimes people don't say it, and I've gotten so used to people not saying it because I caught myself not saying it once, and I'm a very polite person.
Yeah.
Everyone's half asleep, everyone's stressed out getting their kids dropped off. And you just kind of get used to people saying that.
Right.
Or people not thanking you and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's just the way I was raised. You open the door for the lady or the older couple, and you always respect your elders, I'm old school like that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
if they brush you off, you just don't worry about it.
Yeah. But you just fuck you. You say it in your head and you keep going. You fucking prick. All right, keep going. All right. Anyway, so this gets really awkward and really uncomfortable. And what's the character's name on the left?
Dimitri
and Stan. Okay, cool. And he's like, hey man, because Dimitri walks in, that's who they're looking at right now. And he's like, hey man, at least get in on this or get the fuck out. And I love the disgusting zoom in close up on him eating the ice cream bars.
Yep.
And it's just like, it was gross, you know what I mean? Oh. And then he just turns around and shuts the door, turns up the TV volume because he doesn't want to hear that. It's unpleasant.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hear any of that. And then sometimes, and you being a filmmaker and a writer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you show it, like I spit on your grave, it's rough.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you don't show it, sometimes it can be equally as disturbing or worse when you don't show the act. And I spit on your grave. Believe it or not, you're not going to believe me. But I saw down in Hollywood, this is like years ago, they re-released the original classic, cult classic in theaters, and then it was a double feature, and then right after that they played the remake.
Oh, interesting.
And guess what? Theater was filled with women.
Oh yeah.
Filled with women, and I was like, that's right. They and what's funny is they all reacted like the guys reacted in there, like especially when the guy got his dick cut off. Sorry, spoilers. Yeah. Everybody was like, "Yeah, get him!" Fuck that dude up. You know what I mean? But filled with women eating their popcorn, sitting down. Some people are used to that kind of movies.
Women like horror, man. Like that's. I have a lot of friends who are women in horror, like making movies, writing books, like they're serious horror fans.
That's right.
And they're good at it too. Like this movie, like this, I was surprised to see such brutality in something directed by a woman, but then I was like, no, I've actually seen that a few times, and like women need to see this and do this too.
Yeah. Punisher Warzone.
There you go.
Which might be, I think it's the goriest, bloodiest, biggest body count movie out of all the Punisher films, directed by a woman.
There you go.
And look at my beanie is riding up now because my
I see
the beanie is fighting my head.
It's gonna shoot off at some point. Yeah,
shoot off at the end there. But gender doesn't matter. No. What matters is talent.
Mm-hmm.
That's what matters. And this director is extremely talented for making this movie. But back to the movie. This disturbing, terrible.
This scene was like it's awful to watch, and like. Yeah. There are so many great little subtle moments throughout like the whole assault, and it's just showing what you need to understand what exactly is happening and nothing else. And then the rest of it is off screen and implied. So like you see the close up of him like pulling down her underwear, and then they cut away, and you just know it's going to happen. And they take such a long time lingering with the guy that walks in. Like, is he going to help? Is he going to stop this? Is he going to do anything? And then he just leaves. But then there's another moment when as he's leaving, he's listening to it happening, and he turns around, and there's a moment of hope where you're like, oh, he is going to go back and help. No, he turns the TV up because he doesn't want to hear it. And like, it's just,
what I thought? I didn't think moment of hope. I thought, oh, he's going to go in now. He's going to join. He changed his mind. That would have been fucked up.
My optimism right there.
Oh man, but just terrible situation. But here's the thing, though. This whole entire movie, the cinematography is phenomenal. The directing is phenomenal. The pacing is great. Editing. Everything is phenomenal in the movie. But here's the thing. If her acting sucked, none of it would have mattered.
Yeah.
You could have the most gorgeous looking movie ever. And if she could not perform and she was terrible, like really bad. I'm talking about the blonde actress from 1998's Godzilla Bad. Okay, bad.
Yeah.
All right. But thankfully, she's great.
Yeah.
I mean, she really emotes, and like you could see the fear and horror in her face and her eyes, which leads to getting pissed off and then the rage. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is a fuck yeah movie.
It really is.
Rage. Like, just fucking kill them all, god damn it.
Yeah.
Fucking kill them all. You know what I mean? And huge props to the actor. Is it Matilda? What's her name?
Matilda Lutz. Lutz.
Yes. Props to her performance.
Yeah,
but
she's amazing. I'm surprised she hasn't been in more stuff. I think she's popped up in like the occasional miniseries, but
right.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Well,
and like showing physical pain too.
Yes.
And I mean, we'll get to some of that stuff too, but like just because so much of that stuff is like you can have the best gore effects in the world, but if someone's not acting like that hurts or anything, and that's top to bottom, all of them pretty amazing physical acting.
Yes, everyone.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to kill Stan and what was the other guy?
Dimitri and the main guy Richard.
Oh my god. Especially when we get to this scene. This is he's home now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's gonna fuck these dudes up. He's gonna beat the shit out of them. No. All he did was go out there and just yell at the guy. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I was only gone for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'm like, but he's trying to console her. He's like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then he's like, look, when she comes to, he's like, look, I got you a ticket to Canada. I got you a job out there. It's just like LA. It's just like LA, Canada.
And here's some money. You can spend it however you want.
Yeah.
I do love that in this movie, the guy that commits the assault is not the main bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And I think that's really interesting and a really smart choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah. It was
because I forgot about, I don't know if they showed it in the trailer, but I think I forgot about it. And when we finally watched the movie, I forgot that they showed that in the trailer. So when he did push her, I was like, oh God. I was like, wow. Now here's the thing. In your opinion, do you think if she took the offer, they would have left her alone? Do you think if she was like, okay, I'll take the money, I'll be quiet, do you think they would have left her alone? Yeah.
I do think so.
So it's her fault. It's her fault. What you're saying? She should have just taken. No, I'm kidding.
I do blame her in this movie. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's because she didn't do that like all the stuff happens. It like made them feel desperate and made them like,
right.
They just crumbled because she wouldn't do it.
Yeah. No, they're all trash. They're all trash. And they all deserve to die. But she's like, fuck this. She starts running out. They chase after her. And then he's like, look, I'm going to call the helicopter. Okay. And here's the thing is when rewatching this, I actually thought he was faking to calm her down. I didn't think he was actually calling the helicopter. I thought he was just kind of faking, just to, hey, just come, come over, don't worry, I'm calling the helicopter to come pick you up. And I need you out here early. But he actually did call the helicopter. Yeah. And then because the helicopter shows up at the end of the movie, right?
Well, he calls him again.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I think he did. Okay. I think he probably did fake right then.
Okay.
But then later he calls him back. Yeah.
Okay. So it was a fake. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm glad we clarified that. That's why I have Billy here. Because me at this point, I'm just like, revenge. Yeah. Revenge. Got to kill
everybody. Yeah.
But yeah, he ends up pushing her, and she falls, and she should, by all accounts, be dead. Especially not just from the impact, but from being impaled. But sometimes freak accidents happen, and people still live.
Yeah,
sometimes it happens. And man, I mean, I can't imagine the pain. Being
so gross.
Being in, just her. Just I mean, goddamn. And then ants. ants start crawling over
Yeah.
the piece of the tree that's stuck, or the branch that's stuck into her, and they all over the wound. I was like, oh god. And but she pulls a MacGyver. She pulls a MacGyver and we're able to grab her lighter, burn some of the branch, and she was able to at least shimmy loose. But that thing was still stuck in her, though. Like that piece of wood was still stuck
like
in her.
A good amount of time too.
Yeah. And now talk about this scene.
Wait, which is this right after?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stan on the right there, who's the one that committed the assault, he's like, why did you do that? You like, we could have helped her. Maybe we can go help her. And Richard, her boyfriend, supposed boyfriend, is like, no, she's dead. We're just hunting. Nothing happened. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. But he really like showed his dominance.
Yeah.
Because
you see Stan just cower.
Alpha male time.
Yeah.
Because earlier he was kind of like being friends. He's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, he was kind of being like equals, you know, but right here he's like, no, I will push you. If you fuck this up, you will be pushed next.
Yep. He's just like taking control of the situation, and you can tell like the other guys are scared of him, or at least Stan is like scared of him.
Yeah, we'll get
especially
to
after he just shoved him off.
Yeah, and I love how the movie showed Stan, who was like the loudmouth at some point, right? Yeah. He was the loudest, right? And that's always the case sometimes. The guys that are the loudest in the room are the guys that don't know how to fight. You know, there's something, or they're actually scared, so they have to be the most loud and all that, and you know, all that kind of stuff. But he ended up being the biggest pussy,
crying, shrieking. Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up being the biggest pussy ever. And then we'll get to Dimitri when we get to Dimitri. Yeah. But now she survived. It's all about survival now. And she's like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. But again, the performance of doing her own operation.
Oh, so nasty.
Now talk about why this scene worked. Why did this scene work?
So right in the beginning, the helicopter pilot secretly slips Richard, the main guy, some peyote. And he's basically like, be careful with that. And then they talk about the peyote for a second. And he talks about how somebody once took it and sawed his own leg off and felt nothing. Right. And it's just like this crazy, powerful, potent peyote. And just through the course of events, she ended up with it. So she had it like tucked away in her locket because he asked her to hide it. Yeah. So in that scene where she's found a cave, she's still got this thing like impaled. She's still impaled with the branch. Yeah. She takes the peyote and just like kind of waits for it to take effect. And it's really gross because she eats it, then spits it out, and then she's like, no, I need that. And then eats it out of the dirt. And I was like, that's so gross. But it shows like her determination and how like
she's smart.
What she has to do. And she's really smart.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she like waits for that to take effect. And then slowly she like lights that knife, like in that still, and then surgically cuts like 4 corners and then slowly pulls it out. Oh. Yeah. And what I love about that scene and talking about her performance is like they've already established that she's not really going to feel the pain because the peyote is so strong, but she is like in wonder, like in awe of how it feels, and you can tell like something else is going on. It's not just like a, whatever, like it's not nothing of a performance. Right. She's putting so much into it, and that makes it so uncomfortable because I feel like I'm watching that and I can like almost feel how it feels. And when she's pulling it out, you can almost feel it going through her whole body just because she's so like tripped out by it.
And the performance
is so good. Yeah. And so just visceral.
She doesn't really show pain until she burns the we'll talk about that scene.
Yeah. So she's ended up with one of the guy's backpacks, with Dimitri's backpack. Yeah. And in the backpack is like one can of beer, like one big can of beer. And so again, incredibly smart. She takes that can, cuts it with the knife, flattens it, and then she MacGyvers it, and then heats up the can, and then like cauterizes her wound basically.
Then she finally was like, "All right, peyote's wearing off."
Yeah, there I will feel some pain. Yeah, because that is a pretty gnarly procedure to do on yourself.
Yeah. Which leaves a cool, bootleg tattoo we got going on there.
Yeah.
And then we have the badass camera turnaround reveal shot where she's like, I'm gonna fuck some shit up look on her face. And of course we're all rooting, like, let's go kill these dudes, fuck these dudes. And then we can finally talk about you mentioning Dimitri here.
Mm-hmm.
So Dimitri, he's kind of like the shy one.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you got the loudmouth Stan, and he's like the shy one. He's always eating. He's just eat.
Yep.
You know, we forgot to mention unfortunately, while this was happening, he decided to go for a swim afterwards. He's just lazy.
Well, everyone else is busy. I'll just go for a dip.
Yeah. Recovering from a hangover. You know, he's just you know, he's very, you know, kind of like he's kind of like, you know, he has that look on his face, right? He ended up being very brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Like he switched very fast, which I wasn't expecting, because she thought she had the drop on him.
Yeah.
And she reached for his gun and she tried to shoot him, and he's like, do you think I would leave my gun out here?
Yeah.
Loaded?
And then he starts like, her brain doesn't work, and she's like starts screaming at her like, you think you're smarter than me? I forget exactly what he's saying, but he's just like throwing a bunch of shit at her.
Yeah, and he starts beating the shit out of her. And I was like, whoa, this is coming from the what are we doing today?
The one that turned and walked away and didn't want any part of it.
Yeah, eating his ice cream bars. You know, like,
and then he tried to drown her in the lake.
Yeah. And he was just screaming. He's like a total flip. You know, I thought that was interesting. That he was actually more tougher. You know, I don't want to call him a badass because he's a douchebag. Yeah, but he was more lethal. There you go, psychopath than Stan. And he was just like, you know, I'm a hunter, and you know, I always leave the traps from my prey. They think they have me, and I have them. And he's just beating her up, trying to drown her. And then she grabs that knife on him, shank right in the eyeball. A good one too.
She gets both of them. She gets one and then two, and then leaves it in there. And then he's just flopping around, screaming, freaking out.
I love being satisfied. Don't you, Billy?
So satisfying.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah. Just a moment of no
blue balls.
No
revenge blue balls in this movie.
And it's not holding back either. Like, it reminds me of Cronenberg stuff, where Cronenberg, if there's violence, it's going to be super violent and brutal. You're going to see it happen. Oh, one of the things we didn't talk about in the cave after her surgery, they have all those great moments where, you know, she wakes up after
the nightmares
from the peyote. So
that was great.
She starts having these nightmares about waking up, and you don't know it's a nightmare at first. So she like stands up. You see the badass like eagle from the beer bottle imprinted on her skin. And it's like, oh man, this like the phoenix is rising from the ashes.
There you go. Yeah.
And then suddenly Richard is there with a shotgun, and he just shoots her in the head, and her head fucking explodes into pieces. And her face rips down. It is so incredibly brutal and violent that again, I was really taken aback by it. And then, you know, she wakes up screaming, and then there's like 3 more fake outs where you think she's waking up, but she's really just having these crazy hallucinations from the peyote. But anyway, like the violence in it is so in your face and brutal, and does not fuck around for a minute. But that like all leads to it being so satisfying. So yes, I want to stab this lunatic in both of his eyes and then watch him just pass away in the water.
I'm glad you went back to the dream sequences, because I wanted to mention that. But yeah, nice.
Yeah,
but yeah, those were. I mean, she just kept waking up screaming,
and it was every time. I'm just like, yeah, oh, okay, yeah, go get him. Oh, all right, yeah, makes sense. Okay,
but even like her face, her performance when she's underwater, they have that above camera shot showing her from here. You can see the panic, and then it turns to determination.
Mm-hmm.
Her face changes, and then she grabs the knife. She's like, schnick it, you're done.
Yep,
that was great. And when they find Dimitri's body later, and it's all blown up and puffy.
Yeah,
it's all swollen in there.
Yeah, he's just like he's like washing himself. Stan is later like washing himself with the water, is like waking himself up, and then Dimitri's face just slowly creeps up from this to the surface, and it's all like gross. And he's been in the water all night. It's so nasty.
Again, great performance by the actor playing Stan here when he just kind of loses it. He starts beating up the steering wheel. And Richard's like, "Will you get it? Will you get a grip? Get a grip, sir. Get a hold of yourself. We still got to go out and kill her. Stop fucking around." Of course, he's freaking out, and then it leads to some more of, but yeah, she gets him good. She gets him good. Oh, pulling the glass out of his foot. That was man. And that was a lengthy scene.
So that's what I was just gonna say. For someone who's not the big bad in a movie like this, he got a lot of damage to his body. And well deserved. Every single one of those things is satisfying and like well deserved, and like I'll watch it a million times. Like, so after she takes out Dimitri, she's got his supplies and she's like ready to go on. So she gets like his gun, his flashlight, some ammo, a couple knives or whatever she has, but she's like stocked up. And then she starts stalking Stan, and it starts, I think, with her in the road. She sees that he's in a vehicle, so she's in the road and she's got the gun out. And then well, it just becomes
before that he almost gets her. He almost gets her.
You're right. You're right.
Because, and that's what another thing I love about this movie. It's like, you're rooting for her to kill these guys. You're rooting for the revenge, but at the same time, you don't want her to be perfect, like she's a superhero or Terminator. You want her to struggle. You know, it keeps the audience like, oh, is she gonna make it or not? You know what I mean? You want to have some suspense. So he gets the drop on her and shoots her, and man, he shoots the earring off of her. Yeah, and she got lucky. But then she turned around. She was like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then he tries to run her over. She shoots him. Another satisfying shot. We get some more satisfying ass shots.
Yeah.
You know, from the director.
Feels slightly different about them at that point, I feel like. I love too, like, it's all her being smart too. Like, as he's chasing her on foot, she sees that he's taken off a shoe to stop.
Yeah.
Because they start hitting each other. I was about to call it a cat and mouse game with the two of them, but it's not. It's like a dog fight. Like, it's the two of them just. She shoots him, and then he shoots her in the ear, and then he stops the bleeding because she's following his blood trail, and then she follows him, and he chases her, and like it's this crazy thing where they're just back and forth, like hurting each other. But she smashes the glass on the flashlight because she knows that he's chasing her with one shoe off, and so he steps on the glass, and his foot is like just split down the middle. You can see it's so gross. And he has to try repeatedly to dig his fingers into his foot to pull this piece of glass out. And it's bleeding so incredibly. But it's really like a slower version of the Raid 2 kitchen fight scene where they're just hurting each other more and more.
I think I started laughing by the end because it kept going.
It's ridiculous.
And I chuckled a little bit when he finally got it out. But yeah, she's smart. But he tried to run her over. She's like, nope, I'm taking you out, son. Boom, right through the dome. Through the dome.
Through the dome, through the back of the car, like the headrest in the brains.
Car. It was like, it's perfection.
That's what you wanted. That's what you want from that.
Not this fucking bullshit. This shit.
It's a masterpiece.
Some, yeah. We just hung out. It was a Star Trek marathon. They're showing all the movies down in Beverly Hills. The buddy, the cranky critic, we somehow came across talking about RoboCop, and he goes, "RoboCop trilogy. Those movies were made for each of us." He's like, "RoboCop for you." Points to me, RoboCop 2 for Lady Fat Blood, and then RoboCop 3 for himself.
Yeah,
because he likes like bad trash, like stuff like that.
Nice,
which is kind of funny. But yeah,
that's
now
awesome.
we're continuing the revenge, and Richard is like frustrated. He's like, "What the fuck is going on now?" Walking around nonchalantly in his house, or where they're staying out there, and he's like, "Wait, hold on a second. Oh shit! Oh god!" And boom, she shoots him. And then now we get to our finale. We can finally talk about it. And Billy, go.
Naked, running around, Lots of blood. Yeah.
Schlong is swinging.
Just swinging out for everyone to see.
Swinging out. Dr. Manhattan style.
Yeah. I thought at some point that was coming off. But
I know.
The first time I watched it, I was waiting for it to flop
do
on
the
the ground.
deed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
True. Yeah, it starts.
I would have been fine with it though if that would have happened. I wouldn't have.
100%. Yeah. I wouldn't have batted an eye about it.
Yeah.
It starts with him like calling the helicopter, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go. And he's like laying the groundwork for the lie that he dropped his friends off already, and he's gonna go away and get away with everything, and leave her out there to die. And he like takes a shower. That's what he's like. Oh, I'm not comfortable. I'm going to take a shower.
Yeah.
And then in the shower, he hears something, comes out to investigate, fully naked, and she's there. And then he thinks that she's not going to shoot him because he's got a gun too, but it's down, it's lowered. And so I think just when he's like, okay, listen to me, and he's going to reason with her, she blasts him, hits him like right in the ribs, and he is hurt down on the ground and just starts bleeding. But then it is a cat and mouse game through this big house that's like the big beautiful house, and both of them are bleeding, and you don't know who's got the drop on who. But then this great shot where she loses him. He's somewhere in the house with a shotgun.
Yeah.
She's got her gun stalking, and as she's coming around a corner, it's there you go right there, like revealed that he's just waiting for her, and it's just such an awesome shot. Like,
look at this.
Everything about it is so cool. Like that wound on his side is nasty.
Oh, but yeah, this hallway and then the other side of it is really all that's it. They're just running around that.
Yeah.
And it's so well paced and so well directed, and the tension keeps building.
Yeah.
That something like this really could have gone horribly wrong and have ended up being comedic.
Yeah, you put the Benny Hill theme underneath it.
Dude, you beat me to it. You beat me to it. Like, dude, you beat me to it. That was literally about to come out. Like,
I'm sorry.
I want somebody to do that
totally
now.
Undercut it. Yeah.
I want somebody to edit. Everybody watching this, send me the video. I'll show it on social. Well, actually, I don't like. There's nudity, so I won't be able to show it. But I still would love to see someone edit this whole scene to the Benny Hill song. It'd be fucking hilarious. But
it's
again,
so cool. Yeah.
Somebody else directing. This could have been like Naked Gun level of shenanigans. But it's so well directed, so well edited, that even though they're just they're chasing each other around the other side of the wall over and over again. It works.
It works. It totally works because at every point, like, who is doing what they're thinking, what they're planning. Like, she gets up to that corner where he's waiting, and she sees his blood pool coming out. So she's like, okay, he's right there. I'm going to run around. So she runs back around. He says she's running back around, and he comes around. And so, he's following her. She's like, shit, and so you just kind of know at every point what each of them are thinking and what they're trying to do. Yeah. And the second that either of them is out in the open, they're dead. And so it's just this really crazy tension and suspense that like, I think it's hard to get. And just the fact that they're both naked, and they're both she's not naked, she's basically naked. Yeah. And they're both just like
animals
about to die. Yeah, they're both animals. Like,
like
it's about to kill the other. They're not going to hold back.
No.
I love
she unfortunately slips on the blood because at this point there's more blood in that little runway there. And she slips on the blood. He gets the drop on her. He starts beating her up. He starts choking her, and then he has to say the line. He's just like appalled, like offended. He's like offended that she would try to fight back. Instead of just taking the money and leaving.
I think he's just like astounded that she would not take that deal.
And he says the line, what is it? You
women always have to fight back.
You women always have to fucking fight back or something like that, right? Yeah. And I was just like, well, yeah. Especially in this situation, I'd hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so happy that the red flags and my concerns of hammering a message too much would have ruined the movie, and I'm just rolling my eyes like, end already, Jesus Christ. Because some movies, They have good intentions,
Mhm.
but when they're hammering it too much, it's like, dude, just let the movie play out for itself.
Yeah, it's
The
a little
movie play out
pandering.
for
Yeah.
itself.
Well, that's
And,
one of the things I love about this one. It's very subtle, but so incredibly impactful. Like it's making that point. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's clear the storyteller filmmaker she knows what she's saying and doing. And so like it's all in there, but it's also doing what it's doing.
Yeah, it's called great filmmaking.
That's correct.
Good storytelling.
That's correct. Intelligent, artful filmmaking.
Yes. And boom, Butch gets the gun, shoots him.
Ugh.
There you go. And I mean, look at this shot right here. I found this shot. Check this out. Look at that.
It's so good. Yeah.
I wanna hang that up in the house.
I would frame that. If I didn't have like little kids, I would frame that and put that on the wall.
Just tell them it's Kool-Aid.
Yeah. They just had a real bad accident. That's why you should listen to me when you're carrying glasses around. 2 hands all the time.
Oh man. No,
I love
she's a painter. She's a painter.
Yeah, exactly.
She loves red.
I just love the in the beginning you see this like beautiful house in the middle of the desert and like it's just so pristine and clean and white. And then it ends with just an absolute bloody horror show. And when she's slipping in the blood, it is like absolutely believable. Like she drops the gun and she's like trying to crawl toward it, but it's too fucking slippery because there's so much blood. And it's this moment like, no.
I know, right? Fun fact, I saw for the making of the movie really quick, I saw a fun fact that apparently they kept running out of fake blood because there was so much blood in this movie. They kept running out. They were like, damn it, hold on, we got to get some more.
Yeah.
So
I love too, like the wound he takes is no joke. Like it's horrible. Like she basically killed him with that first shot, but he's just so crazy that he's like, no, before I go out, I'm going to kill her. Because I think there's a moment in there where I think he realizes that's a fatal wound. And he's like, no, I'm just going to, if there's one more thing I'm going to do before I'm dead, it's going to be to kill this woman. And he's just a lunatic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like American Psycho shit right there.
A little Aaron Eckhart there.
It's the chin. Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Eckhart and somebody else. No, I can't think of the other guy's name, but I'm always combining actors. Like, hey, this guy looks like but she walks out triumphant. What? Turns around, a helicopter shows up. She turns around and looks at the audience. And is like, yeah, I'm fucking badass. I got my revenge. I did it, and then boom, it goes to credits. So good, so good. And I loved about before she shot him. I was surprised, and I'm kind of happy it didn't happen. I was waiting for the one-liner.
Oh, yeah.
Because every time before you get that last kill, you got to say the,
you're fired.
You're terminated.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, but she didn't do it. And I'm like, I'm kind of happy she didn't do it in this kind of movie. It wasn't really needed, though.
It would have felt a little too winky. The rest of the movie, I feel like, is so grounded.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, it would have been kind of cheesy, I think. Yeah. I think it would have taken away from the final kill if she had some corny one-liner. Revenge completed or something stupid like that, or I don't know.
I'm gonna gouge out the eyeballs of your male gaze.
Take your male gaze to hell. Bam.
You know what though? I believe she could have pulled it off. I feel like she could have pulled it off.
She probably
She's
could have.
So good.
Yeah, she probably could have. I probably still would have rolled my eyes at that one, but still, I would have enjoyed the movie so much. I would have given it a pass. I would give that a pass.
Yeah.
What?
I just love how simple it is.
Baby.
Like if you recount the story, it's like, hey, this woman gets assaulted and she kills the 3 guys that assaulted her.
Yeah. That's it.
That's all
you need.
That's it.
It's all you need.
A survival story in the simplest way. But I think that it's so hard just as a writer. I know how hard it is to get a story boiled down to the simplest version of it that you can.
Yeah.
And so I'm always impressed when there's something like this that's so impactful and so memorable.
Yeah, man.
That is that simple.
I'm so glad you picked this because I love the movie now.
Yeah, this one it needs more love. I feel like people don't talk about this one enough.
No. This could have been in Is It Underrated movie. I mean, Is It Underrated episode? This could have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad you picked it because I always had fond memories of it. Like, oh yeah, Revenge, that was entertaining. But now I love this movie, man.
Yeah.
So good, so good.
I do.
And
love
after revisiting her performance, now you guys have to let me know if this is confirmed, if this is just bullshit. But when I was looking up her credits on IMDb, I saw this. I was like, "What? What?
Whoa!
Her as Red Sonja? Is this fake? Is this real? Is this happening?" Because I'm totally down for that. I'm totally down for that.
Oh, man.
I hope this happens. So you guys watching this right now, let me know if this is like double confirmed.
It looks like it.
Yeah,
it looks like it. Just from what my 10 seconds of research, that is probably the same research you did. I'm like Rona Mitra.
Yeah, Rona Mitra's in it too.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably the villainess. She's probably the villain.
See. It just says actress.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to get too excited, so we'll let the people watching, we'll let the Movie Dojo Army do the research for us, and then let me know, because yes, I'm surprised this is happening, because what I'm about to say is really mean, but it's kind of true, and Billy could vouch for this, is that I'm kind of surprised. If this is happening, I'm surprised, because I think at this point, she would be considered Hollywood old. And you know what I mean by that, Billy.
Yeah.
For us, she's fine.
Yeah.
Green light it. Let's go. But you know how it is. You know how it is in Hollywood. They want the young, fresh face.
Yeah.
You know, so she would be too old, which is ridiculous. But
it is ridiculous. Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to get too excited about this. I was like, oh, hold on. Is this really happening or not? I didn't want to go crazy, so. But I hope it happens. I hope it happens. I hope it's badass. Do you remember when this was announced? Like way back. And when Robert Rodriguez was attached to it, and his woman at the time, I don't think they're still together. From Planet Terror. What's her name?
Rose McGowan?
Yes, she was supposed to be Red Sonja, and I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that did not happen.
It's ringing a bell, but I can't remember.
I remember fake poster and fake artwork for that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm glad that didn't happen, because that would have been
like
really
has
bad.
A sword leg in it.
That would have been really bad. I just don't see her as Red Sonja. When you think of Red Sonja, you think of scantily clad person you don't want to fuck with. She will fuck you up.
Then perfect casting,
right? But for today's modern audience, she'll probably be fully clothed. But as long as it's a good movie and she's still badass, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, revenge, baby. Yeah. Great.
I do love this one.
I'm
glad. I was glad for an excuse to watch it again. Oh, one more thing I want to talk about real quick.
Sure.
The music I thought was awesome.
Oh,
and I usually like, if there's stuff that's like real synth and 80s, I'm usually a little bit like, oh God, all right, we're doing the 80s thing with this one. But for whatever reason, it just like played into everything, and like those moments were so epic because of the music. And I mean, it's because of everything, but the music really, really helped. And so it was a rare instance of like, I really liked the choice of the 80s style music. Yeah.
Well done. Well said, actually. Yeah, when you look at other movies like the bad live action remake of the anime series Death Note, for some strange reason they had an 80s synth soundtrack. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Well, that movie sucked anyway. So,
that's what
I mean, like, it's just one of those like, because 80s throwback is popular.
You guys like this, right? 80s. Yeah. There was a movie that I saw, and I'm not going to say the name of it because my opinion of it is not the norm. It's slightly controversial.
Oh, you got to tell me when we go off the air.
I will.
You got to. Okay. And then I'll unfriend you after that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I went to go see this. It's a movie that everyone was raving about. I went to go see it, and then I literally laughed in the theater a bunch of times when the score kicked in, because it was just like the 80s synth, and it was so just trite and like obvious and just off-putting that it just like tanked. A lot of stuff about that movie tanked itself for me. But like that was the one thing that's why usually I have such a bad reaction to that kind of music. But this, I thought it was used perfectly. Like this is like, yes, I get this homage now.
I can't wait to hear what movie he's talking about. Sorry, you guys have to suffer. But
it's for your own good, everybody.
Don't worry, if you see Billy unfriended on my social media, you'll know what happened. But yeah, great pick. I'm so glad we revisited this for Halloween, and
yeah, man.
And hey, make sure you guys watch Revenge. God damn it, it's on Shudder.
Yeah, if you need a shot of energy in the middle of a Halloween season.
Yeah, and there's with this kind of revenge genre, there's different you know, styles. There's different versions of this kind of movie, right? You have or the genre. You have this movie, and then you have I Spit on Your Grave, which may be too extreme for some people, right? And then you have the ridiculously fun Savage Streets starring Linda Blair, the ridiculously 80s fun version. So there's something for everyone out there. So, but the important thing is that they get the revenge, baby. That's right. That's what, get that revenge, son. But hey, y'all know what you need to do. Check out some Spider Season.
Yeah,
right, check it out. I've lost several years now wearing this.
Yeah,
my life. I'm surprised you didn't come back to me, and I'm just like,
yeah, you just passed out. just hitting
calling off
whatever button.
I'm calling off of work tonight. I can't do it.
Perfect.
But yeah, make sure you guys check out those links in the description box below. Follow my man over here. That's right. Follow him on the filmmaking journey. There's some good stuff coming up that we can't discuss yet. But I'm excited, baby. Oh yeah. And hey, if you guys enjoyed yourself here, I hope you did. I hope us knuckleheads made you laugh. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the old Samurai Guy. That's right. Follow us on YouTube. That's right. And the Spotify. That's right. Check out the Movie Dojo podcast on Spotify as well. Spotify for podcasters, all that good stuff. And we got more. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. We got more horror movie reviews coming up, finishing off the month of September and all of October. More special guests, some versus episodes coming up that will be horror related. So a lot of fun. So see you guys on the next one. Keep watching the horror movies, baby. Open your mind. Like Quato said. That's like
reactor.
Start the reactor. Quaid. You know, ever since you stood up and let us know that Quato's, I'm not gonna unsee Quato now. I know Quato's there.
He's in there. You gotta pay him for interviews usually. Yeah.
You gotta show me that picture.
I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
Maybe we'll show it here on the next episode, but we'll see. All right, guys, take care. And see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
See ya.